Hello there. Welcome to the Harley Carnes Podcast. Harley on the headlines. We got some stories today we'll take a quick look at. We never know what the day's going to offer. Sometimes we get a little hint, though, because if you keep up with the today, you'll have an idea. But like, follow, and subscribe sure would help, because we got to grow this little puppy into a big dog. Either that or, little puppy's going to go back to sleep. You know how it is. Anyway, tell somebody. Like I always say, call your Aunt Millie. She'll tell everybody else. That's what our Aunt Millies are for. Prosecutors have set 1 week for the preliminary hearing to declare that there is enough evidence to put Tyler Robinson on trial for the murder of Charlie Kirk out in Utah. Some of the evidence in the case is being presented to the court, just some of it, enough to point to a viable murder trial. Erica Kirk, Charlie's wife, dressed in black, was there on the first day, dabbing at her eyes with her now ubiquitous hanky, leaning on Charlie's mother's shoulder. She could have been giving a distraught mother a shoulder to cry on, but not on day one at least. An unquestionably tense room, that courtroom, full of grief, anguish, and anger. Utah is a death penalty state, and the state plans to go for that. President Trump is at the NATO Summit. First thing the other countries want to know is, how committed are you, Mr. Trump, to the defense of Ukraine, and to NATO itself for that matter? At last year's summit, leaders of the 32 countries in the pact agreed to increase their defense spending. Trump beat him about the head and shoulders to make that happen. I mean, he was very, very, very forceful, and he got what he wanted. And they have done so, though not always as much as promised. Since then, the U.S. went to war against Iran over nuclear weapons and the free flow of oil through Hormuz, and NATO sat on its hands instead of helping or even supporting the U.S. And Trump's commitment to NATO is a bit of a question mark. He's probably not going to leave NATO, of course, but he's not a happy camper at the moment, and they are going to hear about that. At the same time, expect some major arms deals to be announced. So Trump will be happier at the end of the summit than he is going in, and so presumably will the rest of NATO. By the way, President Trump is doing something that is long overdue and pretty smart. He's going to build a helipad on the White House lawn where presidential choppers land, as well as some visiting dignitaries. The next-gen choppers are a lot more powerful, which means hotter exhausts, and the lawn already catches fire at times from helicopter exhaust. Plus, the downwash is very powerful and can rip up the lawn there. It's an issue everywhere, actually, which is one reason helipads are made of concrete or rock. The White House has needed one for decades, talked about doing it. Trump is going to get it done. About $6 million, they figure. Private donations from Sikorsky Aircraft will pay for it. Sikorsky builds helicopters. It'll last for a long, long time, carved from granite. The new fleet of choppers is already here. President Biden was the first to fly on the newest one, called the Patriot. Having a helipad there should have happened a long, long time ago, really. I mean, heck, hospitals have them. Tops of some buildings have them in big cities. A truly detestable political candidate is on his way out. You can bet on that. Radical Democrat Graham Platner is standing right in front of the exit door now that a woman he once dated claims, with credibility, that he raped her. He's losing political endorsements like raindrops dripping to the floor. Platner, of the Nazi tattoo on his chest and the outrageous rhetoric, says it's not true, none of it, that he didn't rape the woman. But he also said his campaign is on hold, and he is taking time to reflect on the best path forward. We've heard that before. That's probably a line someone handed him to memorize as he figures out the straightest line to the exit door. Thing is, there is a deadline for the party to replace him in the race for Susan Collins' Senate seat, and in Maine, he has to take that step. Democrats can point him at the door, but he has to choose to walk out of it. Time is ticking for the fractious Democrats in Maine. Taiwan is in for some trouble. A super typhoon is on the way, what we call a hurricane in our neck of the world. Bobby is its name. It's serious, 200-mile peak winds did a lot of damage in Guam and devastated the northern Mariana island of Rota. Think Category 4 at least, Katrina. Eastern China is going to get hit by 160-mile-an-hour winds. Some parts will get 18 inches of rain, which means flooding, too. So structural damage, flooding, local mudslides, and traffic and other transportation nightmares. And we'll see how the people do. Sure hope they do okay. Let's talk about the heartbreak on the soccer field. The USA versus Belgium. Hope you didn't see it all. It was not pretty. Not a whole lot of fun to watch. Now, let's be fair and honest about the situation. The U.S. men's team did very well to make it as far as they did. They had spirit and confidence and energy and lots of hope. What they didn't have, don't have yet, is enough talent. They need more, better players. The competition simply gets another level of tough once you start running into the top 10 teams in the world. Belgium ran all over the U.S., and the U.S. had its worst game of the games when they needed its best effort. That's not a good combination. It was not pretty, and like I said, it was not real fun to watch. And 4-1 in soccer is a drubbing. The great benefit is what the U.S. team has done for enthusiasm for soccer in America. Not since the women champs years ago has soccer fever been ignited and burned so brightly. The rest of the world is about soccer the way we are about American football and baseball and basketball. It's going to take that kind of devotion to soccer to get more, better athletes and coaches to fill the ranks after the Pee Wee leagues. All kids seem to play soccer, but they stop as soon as they pick up a basketball or a baseball bat or catch a football. Until we have a considerable cadre, and I'm talking about a lot more players, coaches, and supporters who feel the same way about soccer, the world is going to continue to give us a spanking in public. If you had watched only about 15 minutes of the match between Mexico and England, you'd be nodding your head. You say, yeah, that's what we're talking about. No joke. 3-2, England won, and it was high-level, close soccer. Lastly, what would you think if a black bear forced its way into your bedroom, into bed? A bear did just that, shoving its way through the door of a hotel room. It's on a security video, which we got from UPI. You know, not looking for trouble, just a little food. Excuse me, folks. Didn't realize anybody was home. I guess I'll just back out of here and go on my way. Geez, what were they doing in there anyway? I am out of here. I guess so am I. Thank you for dropping by. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you'll come back. Bring some folks with you. You've given me some of your time. I sure do appreciate it because time is extremely precious stuff. I hope you'll pop in from time to time to HarleyCarnes.com. Might buy a book or two if you want. Well, at least one. We'll get more on there pretty quick. I'm Harley Carnes. Until next time, do yourself a favor. Make some good, conscious choices in your life. Make a decision to be happy and fly safe. It's the only way to get there.